What's going on, guys? My name's Austin, and today I'm going to show you guys how to install some budget billet freeze plugs on my 12-valve Cummins. It is in a Ford F-150. Yes, the turbo is kind of sticking up and it sticks out the hood. So here's these billet freeze plugs for this 12-valve with the little spacer on the back that hides inside the block. They give you an Allen and some bolts with little washers, rubber washers to them. So these were about like $30 all in all, non-branded from eBay. If you guys want to spend $200 something on some name brand ones, go ahead. We're gonna try out these cheapies, and I have a lot of room in here to mess with these freeze plugs. This freeze plug right here was starting to leak, and it didn't show during a pressure test when I was trying to do the coolant flush, put new coolant, because I had to put a temp sensor into the block so I could see how much temperature this thing is at for my burnout competitions. So we're gonna knock out these freeze plugs. I do recommend brake cleaning them first. Clean them all up real nice because they got a bunch of dirt on them. I'm gonna try my best to try to get a video in the truck. If not, when you hit the freeze plugs out, you're supposed to hit them on this side, not this side, because there's a little ridge supposedly built on the inside. So hit it on the left side, otherwise you'll be just beating it for no reason on this side. Drain your coolant. Normally you can just take your lower radiator hose off down there, or if you have a real fancy radiator and you have a little spigot, undo the spigot, drain it all best as possible, and start knocking these out. It will still drain some coolant out of them. That's all right. And yeah, let's get after it. Hopefully I can get a nice shot for you guys in here and do this together. Alright, so I'm going to try my best for you guys here with trying to hold the camera at the same time. If not, I'm just going to do like point at something and then cut the camera, and it's pretty just straightforward. Like I said, we're going to brake clean it as best as possible. And just those three. Luckily, I don't have any fender wells. Get all this gunk out of here best as possible. Someone's painted the block already. It's all right. So a lot of you guys are going to have the turbo in the way. Some of the guys take the turbo completely off or half off, or still do it with them in there. All the pros will still keep the turbo in place and somehow still tell you that they work around it because they're a bad mamma jamma. So, like I said, with the pry bar, everybody's saying to hit it on this side. Sorry, too much light. So we're gonna hit it on this side, not on this side, and we're gonna twist them out, pop them out. So I'm gonna see how well I can do this with a hammer and trying to hit this out. I'm gonna try my best here. Trying to not hit the camera. All kinds of things going on right now. So there goes that freeze plug. I accidentally knocked it all the way in. We can still get it out. Hopefully. Use a pair of pliers for that one. Get this one. And actually, you don't need that much force to knock them in, to be honest. I'm barely tapping these guys in. So there's that. So there's one. It's pretty bad, but we'll get it out. Get the other one out of the block. There we go. There's that one. Oh, there's another one. got a lot of buildup in here with these. Previous guy ran a lot of water and no actual coolant, so we'll clean these up best as possible. Try to get as much as that nasty stuff out of these the coolant passages, because you don't want it to clog up like the thermostat. See, and there's still a bunch of coolant in there, but we're doing the best we can here. So you do want to clean this as best as possible where the O-ring is going to sit into the block. Actually, this block doesn't really have a lip like the videos I've seen. Maybe it's just the earlier first gen 12 valve blocks that don't have this, but still, yeah, it works for, I believe, to 6.7 Cummins. I might be wrong. So on this particular brand, we have a little O-ring that gets pressed on. Not that hard to do. So we're gonna go ahead and just put it right through this. Some of the guys were saying go ahead and just put a couple thread turns with this guy, and then they said you should be able to swing it into the block like this. All right, so I figured it out. I got the first one all in there and tightened up. So trick was, so let's go ahead and get this on. We'll get it to where it starts to come out on this side. A little bit of engine oil, just a little, to get it to slide nice and beautiful in there. And I'm going to show you why, where we need it to slide versus where I was trying to press it in. The press in didn't work. So we hook it in there, obviously, like so, if it goes in. There it goes. And what I did was pull back this way to where the block on the back side was getting held up by the actual engine block. So you got to pull back, make sure you just kind of line it up so you don't cockeye it. Still hold it all the way up until it's fully pressed in. There we go. Nice and beautiful. So there it is. So there's that one. Tying her up. I would recommend getting these pretty tight for the most part. Do not go anything bigger than this, like a ratchet or an impact. It didn't say what the torque spec was when I ordered these. If it ever comes loose, I know what to do. So get it to where it pretty much stops on the both of these. I'm using it to where I'm kind of pulling it like this. Like I said, don't put a little pipe on it or anything. Just whatever you got right here, crank her till she stops. Unless you got some farm boy forearms and you're super strong, that would probably strip the bolts, but I don't think we're gonna strip them. That's on there pretty freaking good. So let me get the second one or third one ready. Get her in. Normally there's a fourth freeze plug and it's at the front of the block. I don't know about the grid heater that's here, if there's another one. If it still leaks, the one that was leaking was the very first one there, and it was pretty bad under a vacuum pull. It was losing all coolant pressure, or vacuum, sorry. It was losing all vacuum. So let's get the third one in. Oh, a little bit of oil to slide. Just a little dabble. Slide it right on in there. Ba-bam. Same routine. Line her up, pull her back. Screw it right in. Make sure you get all the shoulders in nice and straight. You don't want it crooked. It'll still still mess up the seal that way. There we go. So we got these in. I'm gonna keep this in the truck just in case if I'm ever driving somewhere and it starts to leak just a little bit, you know, I can tighten them up. And if it still like leaks, it would probably be a bad O-ring. And I'm not saying when they're brand new or if you accidentally damage them from the get-go, you can just reorder these and they're relatively cheap. So let's go ahead and put this under a vacuum and see if we got this thing fixed. All right, so we got it all filled up with coolant all the way to the top and no leaks out of those freeze plugs. So that's good. Even the old ones, I might go ahead and order the front one. And I do not know if where the block heater is, I don't know if that's one also, so I can probably order just another kit, 25 bucks for them. They didn't leak, so we're good. So that's a plus. So see how these things do. On to the next video. Later, guys.